Alex and this is my sister Amelia. Today we are making a video. Can I tell you what it is? It's about living in space. So today our episode is living in space. Let's start! The Earth is a big round planet. This is what it looks like from space. Astronauts go to space to live and work. The word astronaut means the star sailor. To become an astronaut, you have to go to space school and learn how to work in space. It is like a school we study. No, on Earth, when things jump, they go up and down. It's because gravity. Gravity is something that we can't see. It is invisible. That's why we go up and then down. It pulls us down. That's why we don't float. Do you know that now? So, let's move on. Do you know why things float on the moon and space? That's because there is a very little gravity. So, that's why we float. Astronauts need lots of training to know what to do when they float in space. Just like we study in schools, they have to study what to do when they float in space. At space school, astronauts learn how to work while floating in water. It feels like working in space. Astronauts also try out emergency escapes. They slide down a pole onto a soft mat. Do you know how astronauts go into space? They go into space in a space shuttle. Don't think a car, okay? It's a jet. What is astronauts go to space? The shuttle is from a launch pad. The shuttle looks like a plane with a big fuel tank and two white rockets. So when we fly into space, we can't just wear these clothes. We have special suits. Like they are orange suits which make us to breathe air and make us comfortable. So that's how we go to space. Do you know how astronauts go to the space shuttle? They go to the space shuttle in an elevator. Then they cross a bridge into the shuttle. The astronauts lie in the nose of the shuttle until it's time to go. The engines start burning fuel from the fuel tank. Then the two white rockets light up and the shuttle zooms into space. 3, 2, 1, lift off. Nobody is allowed to stand close to the launch pad because it is too dangerous. Do you know what happens when the shuttle goes into space? The rockets fall into the sea. When the rocket launches off, the rockets fall into the sea after 2 minutes. After 8 minutes, the fuel tank falls away. The shuttle is now floating in space. When the shuttle is in space, it gets a bit hot. So, 2 flaps open up in the back of the shuttle so it doesn't get too hot. The space shuttle goes around the Earth in a big circle. This is known as being in orbit. The middle part of the shuttle is called the payload bay. It carries big objects into space. The astronauts work, eat and sleep in the nose of the shuttle. It only takes 90 minutes for the shuttle to orbit the Earth. Some astronauts stay in space for a long time. They stay in a floating home called a space station. Astronauts are building a big new space station. This is what it will look like when it's finished. The shuttle travels through space. It flies close to the space station. Then it joins to the space station. Is that incredible? When the space station is finished, it will be as big as 2 soccer fields. Do you know what happened next? Let me tell you. The space shuttle carries the parts for the new space station. The robot arm picks up a big tube out of the payload bay. The robot arm fixes the new tube onto the space station. Some of the tubes are as big as a bus. When astronauts go into space, they take their food and drinks with them. The first meals taken to space didn't all taste very nice. It's because it is with beef and vegetables. Food was dried and sealed up so it can be fresh. Astronauts added warm water which made the food soggy. Can you see the blob of drink floating to the astronaut's mouth? Today most space meals come already prepared to trays. They just need to be heated. Fruit is dried to keep it fresh. The first man to walk on the moon ate dried ice cream in space. It is difficult living in a space station. There is not much room and everything floats. Do you know what happens when we take a bath? The water flows out and then it flows in blobs. Is it incredible? It's because there is very little gravity. An astronaut holds on the handlebar to keep still while he washes. After rinsing, the astronaut uses a hose to suck up all the water. It is so funny, right? In a space toilet, there are bars and footrests so the astronauts can stay still. Can you imagine how it is? An astronaut slides the bars over her legs and turns on the airflow. Astronauts recycle some water in space and more comes from Earth in tanks like these. Astronauts work in the space station. Some work in a laboratory like the one below. It's a tube where they can carry out tests. They also fit new parts inside the space station. Astronauts exercise every day to keep fit and healthy, just like we do. Do you know where they sleep? They sleep in a sleeping bag attached to the wall. It doesn't matter because it is like a bed because it is in space. When they are not working, astronauts read, listen to music, or just look at the amazing views of Earth. Astronauts can talk to people on Earth and send messages by computer. Just like you, I also would like to go to space and live there. I told you astronauts wear everyday clothes inside the space. But when they go outside, they wear space suits. The first layer keeps them cool or warm. They add an outer layer for protection. The helmet and gloves go on last. Inside their helmets, astronauts can drink through a straw and talk to each other. A backpack carries air to breathe and water to warm or cool the astronaut. Space boots aren't made for walking. The astronauts move around by holding on to things with their hands. Astronauts go out into space through an airlock. It stops air from escaping from the space station. An astronaut goes through the first door. In an airlock, the astronaut puts on a spacesuit. He leaves through the second door. An astronaut sometimes puts on a jetpack so he can move around outside the space station. When astronauts work outside, it is called spacewalking. This astronaut is spacewalking in the shuttle's payload bay. One astronaut dropped a glove in space. It is still floating around somewhere. Do you know how long astronauts stay in space? They stay 90 days in the space station and they come back to Earth. The shuttle leaves the space station. It heats up as it drops back through the air. The shuttle lands on a runway like a plane. Have you ever seen a plane landing? I have seen it when I go to Maldives. It lands like this, slow. I like planes so much. The parachute helps the shuttle to slow down. The parachute pulls the plane back. The longest an astronaut has stayed in space is 1 year and 72 days. The first trip to space was in 1957. The first living thing to travel to Earth from space was a dog named Laika. In 1969, humans walked on the moon for the first time. It is very incredible, right? In the future, you may be able to fly into space in a space plane like this. May I tell you something? My favorite subject is space science. So my dream is to go to space. So one day I will walk on the moon. Hello friends! I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. So until next time, see you, bye bye. You are our biggest fans. You are big. And don't forget to subscribe.